In 1995, Alanis Morissette set the music industry ablaze once she dropped Jagged Little Pill. It's the album that flipped Alanis' career on its head, in the best way possible. It's become so gigantic that a lot of people don't even realize that prior to this record, Alanis was a teen idol that made bubblegum pop, adjacent to acts like Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. Jagged Little Pill legitimized Alanis as an artist, and is a 90s pop culture cornerstone. Still, the album served as a point of contention for some critics because of its straightforward nature, with some critics branding it as an extremely angry album based off of songs like You Oughta Know. In reality, the album is varied with its emotional perspectives, and for the most part, the lyrics are direct, honest, and conversational at times, which makes a song like Ironic stick out. The lyrics are still very straightforward. However, the song contains Alanis' most heavy-handed use of figure of speech on the album. The debate and conversation surrounding the song and its usage or misuse, depending on who you ask, of the literary device known as irony has been happening for decades. In spite, or whether partly due to the endless discourse around this song, it has remained popular. Although You Oughta Know is a towering song in influence and recognition, chart-wise, it was not initially the most popular song on the record. It's songs like Hand in My Pocket and Ironic that actually helped propel Jagged Little Pill become a phenomenon, not just a hit. Speaking about the formation of the song, Alanis' collaborator Glenn Ballard explained that it was actually one of the first songs they put together for the album, the third to be exact. He said it's his favorite song they've ever done together. The writing process for the song included Alanis and Glenn spending their time trying to come up with more and more ridiculous and funny scenarios for the record, which resulted in Ironic. The song is a slow build-up, but the verses are as equally memorable as the chorus, and that's largely due to the scenarios at the center of the verses. An old man turned 98, he won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic, don't you think? And the chorus continues on the intended irony. It's like rain on your wedding day, it's a free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought, it figures. The second verse continues with the unfortunate scenarios, which is my favorite verse of the song, because it paints a clear picture. Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly, he packed his suitcase and kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight, and as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And the third verse arguably has the most perplexing lyric of the entire song. Specifically the spoon line, it's just kind of goofy, but I also think it adds to the appeal of the song. A traffic jam when you're already late, a no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams, and then meeting his beautiful wife. And those last two lines really keep the spirit of the song grounded. Needless to say, critics have hounded this song. Many of the examples of intended irony in the song are actually just unfortunate incidents. Irony is a little less drastic, which is why at times it's a bit hard for people to navigate what is and what isn't irony. Like for example, a group of songwriters did a mini project where they retweaked some of the lyrics to better fit the definition of irony, and one of those lyrics are, "It's a black fly in your Chardonnay that was specifically purchased to repel black flies." Now there is a certain type of irony that experts have argued this song falls under, and that would be situational or dramatic irony. Dramatic irony is described as irony that is inherent in speeches or a situation of drama and is understood by the audience but not grasped by the characters in the play, which applies to nearly all the scenarios in the song. Throughout the years, Alanis seemed to have a bit of an on and off relationship with this song, and some of the criticism it brought, and some people being harsh and calling her stupid. It's been at the center of countless skits. At first, before the release of the album, she didn't even want the song on the record. She just didn't really care for it, but after some persuasion, she grew more fond of it. For me, the great debate on whether what I was saying in Ironic was ironic wasn't a traumatic debate. I'd always embraced the fact that every once in a while I'd be the malapropism queen. And when Glenn and I were writing it, we definitely were not doggedly making sure that everything was technically ironic. In a more recent interview, she is quoted saying, "I guess one of the things that is the scariest for us in terms of our collective shame is being seen as stupid or uneducated or ignorant. I can embrace I'm stupid, I can embrace that I'm really brilliant. It just depends on when you catch me. She has even poked fun at herself in live performances singing, "It's singing ironic, but there are no ironies, and who would have thought it figures." Isn't it ironic that Alanis has a song named Ironic, but there's no irony? Either way, this song still holds its crown. Proper usage of irony or not, it's a great song and has instantly memorable pop songwriting. The unfortunate scenarios in the verses combined with the relaxed and catchy melodies that hold off until the chorus explodes into a big sing-along epic makes it all more remarkable. It's a stone cold classic, and although the lyrics and scenarios can be fun to debate about, I don't think anyone really cares that much while listening to the song, considering the status it has endured. It remains Alanis' biggest chart hit on the Billboard Hot 100, and her third biggest chart hit on the UK official charts. For me, the sweetest moment came in New York, when a woman came up to me in a record store and said, "So all those things in ironic aren't ironic." And then she said, "And that's the irony." I said, "Yep."